Hey everybody, here I am sitting in my car again after taking another CPA exam. This time it was BEC, Business Environment Concepts. I know most people suggest taking that one last, but because of my course load at the university, I was finishing my master's degree, I kind of had to put off regulation. One of my last classes kind of focused on BEC, so it dovetailed better. So I'll be taking regulation next month, but for now the hurdle I had to get over was BEC, and I won't get my results for another 6 weeks. So all I can say right now is it was more challenging than I expected. I put a decent amount of time into it, probably a month of hardcore studying, 2 months of off and on studying. I did my best to understand as many of the concepts as I could: macro, micro, IT, COSO, cost accounting, make or buy decisions, basically the gamut, anything it could throw at me, including esoteric financial ratios. I felt I did decent on the multiple choice. I couldn't tell if there was a harder second set of multiple choice or not. Just because the variety of multiple choice was such that, I'd have to do a couple calculations, then it would be answering some, just general knowledge, and the variety was such that honestly I couldn't tell if they were getting easier and harder because the subject areas were changing so much. So maybe I got the harder second testlet, maybe I didn't. Honestly, I couldn't tell. I did like the fact that we could use Excel now on the exam. That was great because having to use a little calculator for things is just ridiculous. The simulations definitely gave me the biggest problems, and it wasn't that they were in topics I didn't understand, but they were just presented in such a fashion where keeping them straight was difficult. I mean, every simulation covered at least 3 different types of task. So you'd have the same data for a company, but you'd first be looking at, say, certain financial statements or whatever, and then you'd switch to a different theory category, and then switch to a different category altogether. And so really each simulation was really 3 simulations. So even though there were only 4 sims, it was really more like 12 sims. And my brain I wasn't expecting that. I think I did okay on them, but I admit there were some where I was just like, oh, this is enough. The written portion, I know it's only 15%, but I generally do well on written exams, and these kind of threw me for a loop because they were on topics that my review courses didn't cover as much. I'm not going to state the specific topics because, they frown upon that, but I studied primarily using Gleim, and their 20 or so essay questions that they have didn't come close to any of these. I also bought the Wiley test bank and did a number of practice tests through it, and again, didn't see anything close to these. So my general accounting knowledge in my head is superb, but I kind of had to wing it on the questions I was asked. If I had to say, the biggest surprise was the review courses prepared me for a lot of COSO related questions, specifically internal control, and honestly, if I could have that time back in my life to study anything else, I probably would. Maybe I would have studied cost accounting a little bit more, but it's a strong area for me, so maybe I would have just used that extra time to get more sleep or enjoy life. I don't know. My advice to anybody who's taking BEC going forward, don't skimp on studying the IT portions, and do as many sims as possible. I know the standard belief is to do multiple choice to kind of get the topics in your head, but I don't know. I think for this one, the simulations are you kind of have to be ready for all sorts of twists and turns, and yeah, doing simulations outside in Gleim or Wiley or whatever review course you're doing is not the same, but that sort of variety, I mean, I felt I was adaptable enough. Now, did I pass? I can't say. I feel like I did. I have a slight tilt toward yes, I did. I had the same feeling actually coming out of audit, and I ended up getting an 85 on that, so I wouldn't be too sad to get an 85 on BEC. Then again, when I took FAR, I felt I absolutely failed it, and I got a 93. So to be honest, how I feel coming out of CPA exams doesn't seem to have a bearing on my score. So we'll just see at the end of June. Till then, see you later.